A very good evening to everyone. You are watching Re-Up Masters, and today we are crowning our champion here at the Esports World Cup live from the Kidia Arena. Before we get to our grand finals though, I want to just recap the last 3 weeks that we've had, and to do that I've got a wonderful panel with me. Kezu, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. You know, there's a lot of Dota that has been played, more Dota that will be played today, and you know, a lot of dreams that will be shattered, but there's, you know, you always need the losers to get the winners, so I'm excited.
Effie, welcome back on the panel.
Hey.
You ready for grand finals?
I'm very excited. You know, I'm here while our boy BSJ is doing something very exciting.
Secret?
Secret and exciting, but always looking forward to some action-packed Dota issues.
Yeah, and we've had a lot of action-packed Dota already, Fear. I want to take you back to the play-ins. It was a long time ago.
It was a long time
There
ago.
were a lot of teams that had a lot of hopes and dreams.
There was, and a couple of them came out of that plains looking pretty good as well, but unfortunately some had to go home as well as just like the group stage. So yeah, I believe, which team was doing the best? Was it?
I mean, Entity were doing
Entity,
really
yeah,
well.
Entity was the one that was really crushing it through the plains. They got it pretty far, but unfortunately none of the play-in teams did reach it to the final day, which is, you know, that's kind of how it goes. You are in the plains for a reason. No big upsets.
No big upsets. I think when I think about the play-ins and the road of some teams, the ones that stand out for me is Nouns not making it out of the play-ins, and LGD making it a lot further, Kezu, than I thought.
I mean, LGD just kind of had the power up. You always have the teams that like progress a lot throughout the tournament, which is also, even the teams that lost in this tournament, honestly, they're still here like in spirit, because the meta that develops in these tournaments is from all the teams playing and losing and helping each other. So, you know, you always have the losers, but they're still here today.
They are. I mean, there's always the teams that excel in situations where you don't expect them to. We already talked about Entity from the play-ins, but there's also Blacklist and Heroic, who fell off really hard by the time the group stages came out. During the group stages, we had Falcons going 0-4 on the first day, then crushing all the other days. We had teams that we expected to be the top at the bottom and vice versa. So a lot of interesting things went on this entire tournament.
Yeah, I forgot to mention as well, PSG Quest was in the play-ins, and they did way better than all the other teams we mentioned, so sad to leave them out, but they far exceeded most people's expectations.
Yeah, no, I was going to mention them.
Yeah.
Don't worry. We were not going to forget that, because I think Fear, PSG Quest, they probably left the most lasting impact of all the teams, other than, you know, the final 3 teams that people were expecting to do well. But PSG Quest is going home with a lot more fans and people rooting for them in the future.
Yeah, I mean, them being Spirit alone was just like, okay, this team is the real deal. They're beating the Goliath of land, Team Spirit, and then they went on and won 3 games with Falcons, so that was super impressive.
Incredibly impressive. We also had OG that didn't do as good as some other people were expecting, and now people are speculating, is Seb going for another retirement, now being a family man and all. We had a great skit about that. Actually, we've had fantastic skits and little videos about that, and that is all thanks to our content team that is very hard at work, always.
Content ideas, okay. Oh, okay, I got it. Arteezy has a sleep paralysis demon, Shadow Fiend, huh? Okay, right, too obvious, sure. Oh, Dota 2 award show! Dota 2's been around for like 18 years. How come we don't have an award show? It's perfect. Well, come on, bro, that's actually a good one, for real.
No, it's not a good one. Think about it. Actually, think about it. Imagine what a Dota 2 award show would actually look like.
Thank you, everyone. Welcome back to the Dota 2 Defense of the Award Show for the video game Dota 2 Defense of the Ancients, Dota. We are here now to announce the winner, but before we get into that, let me remind you one more time of your nominees. Fear, 23 Savage, FY, and ATF. And the award for most excited victory celebration goes to Fear! Come on up here, Fear. Come get your award, buddy. Excuse me, where are we? Hello? Fear? Oh, he's gone. Okay. Oh, this is a huge one. Let us now begin our induction into the Hall of Fame. This one is for those Dota players that have been around for so long, but are still here and kicking butt today. Ladies and gentlemen, You know him, you love him. Please welcome Puppy. Oh, he's not here. Okay, that's okay because there's plenty of other good old players to be inducted in his stead. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Kuroki. Oh, the Hall of Fame inductee is Sumail. Oh, it's Miracle. Okay, mind control. He's actually good. He's not here. I thought, great. And best seating position, Boxy, 33, Ramses, and Blitz. And now it's time for a crowd favorite. We have Team Fight of the Year. Your first nominee is gonna be Heroic versus Gamin Gladiators at ESO 1 Birmingham. Next up, BB Team versus the Tormentor at ESO 1 Kuala Lumpur. You know this one, it's Boxy's Lion Stun at ESO 1 Kuala Lumpur. And Gabi and Abed at the Blacklist International Team House. And the winner is, of course, Boxy's Lion Stun at ESO 1 Kuala Lumpur. Ah, look at that stun! Unbelievable! Put your hands together. Woo! Woo! God. And your final category of the night, thank goodness, is gonna be Least Retired Player of the Year. Your nominees are Crit, Ame. Oh.
Get Ama's name out of your mouth.
Hey, do you have something that you want to say about Ame, or I'm gonna give you a hug, or what are you doing up here?
So, sleep paralysis demon?
Yeah, sleep paralysis demon. Okay, let's go.
Every time, it cracks me up, Kazu.
There's just so much like originality, like to come up with these things. Slacks and whoever else is behind these, they're just S tier.
And working all the little nudges of memes, not just Dota 2 related, but
yeah, and also that all these players are here, like
yes,
for all these bits.
Well,
most of them, all of them, most of them.
all of them. No, it's been fantastic watching everything. It's gonna be fantastic watching a grand finals as well. So it is time to start talking about our grand finals.
It's a long road for us. Since the group stage, we played many games. And in some games, we struggle a lot. We find out how we want to play. And this is probably the reason why we are here right now.
And they just keep on going. They just keep pushing forward, even at half HP.
This event could easily be the biggest event of the year for us. I think the journey for us to get to this point has been a bit of a mix of up and downs.
It's too much. They have to use the arena to try and bail him out, push him back with the God's Rebuke. 33 runs him down all the way to the fountain and a power shot to finish him off.
We didn't feel like we win or lose, but we were feeling that we went to the finals almost 100%. Everyone is really confident and everyone is ready to own.
He's just hoping he has the damage to finish off Roshan. It's not even close. Meanwhile, Amar's going for the kill on the Brewmaster. This guy's gonna get off this ultimate. Actually, a little bit more damage. They just call it. It's done. They're out. Falcons know they can't beat Gamin Gladiators whenever they hit their peak.
You learn to adapt and overcome struggles. We've come so close so many times, and winning would mean everything.
They drew it back for all of that and got nothing out of the two lives on the Chaos Knight.
Oh my, Liquid.
I think Team Liquid, for some reason, I don't know how it works, but they have some issues and they struggle a lot with the grand finals, and you can feel it in the games. So I hope we're going to also smash them without struggling a lot.
I think Gamin Gladiators is always a stronger team the further you get along in the tournament, and beating them in grand finals I feel like would be the icing on the cake. Got a little bit exposed going up against Gladiators, but now we're back and I cannot wait to defeat them. So I think coming into this we are more prepared than we are.
don't know, we always beat them in the finals, and I think they're scared of us. Quick 3-0, 20 minutes, 30 minutes max.
Cannot wait to prove that the Dyrachyo truly is a B-tier character.
As we look at the Jamil Motorsport player arrival of our grand finalists here at this Riyadh Masters, it is good to remember that there is no beef between these players, but we do like to play it up a little bit. I love how confident Dyrachyo was in that interview, Effie.
I love to hear it. I love to hear it. I mean, this is the El Clasico. You can't change the script. It seems like you know you can have a filler season. Maybe Falcons was the filler season of Dota 2, but we are back to what we've been seeing, the meat and bones of the last competitive year, which is just Gamin versus Liquid Grand Finals.
Yeah, and it has not been ending well for Team Liquid. This will be the sixth Grand Finals. They go up against each other, which is a lot of Grand Finals, but not a single one. Well, the five before this, not a single one was taken by Team Liquid. And Fear, we got some stats to look at regarding Grand Finals appearances.
Shocker.
And not this one. This one is a little bit ahead of its time.
Yeah, this is mine. Should I just roll with it?
Yeah, go roll with it.
Because we have Gamin Gladiators, we know how good they are. They expose Liquid, like we also just heard in the video, and this is just some of the heroes that they play. You have the CK, you have the Chen, the Brew, and the Weaver. What do all these heroes do? They play aggressive. They have good lanes. They're gonna stomp you. If they get ahead, they're gonna end the game fast. They're gonna take Roche, build auras. These are their recent game times in their last two matches against the best teams in the tournament. 33 minutes, 33 minutes, 28 minutes, and 29 minutes. So I think if you're Liquid looking at this, obviously they lost very hard. They know how to adapt because they had a big drafting issue in their series. So looking at this, I hope that they adapt, but they already showed some better stuff against Falcons in the series just now.
They really did. The question is, will they survive those first 20 minutes? We're going to find out because as we can see in the records, and this time the sheet that I wanted to share with you all, Fear, this is Grand Finals appearances and victories of all the players. We must remember that for Dyrachyo, Tofu, and Celery, this was all last year. They have done fantastic. But these are high numbers.
Yeah, they definitely are, especially Ace. I didn't really expect that one to be that many.
Ninjas in Pajamas.
Yeah,
Team
whenever he gets to
Secrets.
Grand Finals, all he does is win there. And whenever Gaming Gladiators get into Grand Finals, all they do is win as well, if Liquid's on the enemy team at least. But we'll have to see in this one. We'll be able to bring it back, and we're going to see the opposite here, where we have just a couple. But, Nisha on his probably Days of Secret, got most of those, right? And then we've got a couple there on 33 with Tundra, I believe, but not yet with Liquid.
No, and just as a reminder, the one finals that Boxy, Insania, and Mickey won was in 2019 when they were still Alliance, and it was the Summit. And that is a very long time ago, especially considering since then they've changed rosters quite a bit, and they've had some of the best players in the world is also on their roster as well. And it is about time, no?
It is. They have to be so hungry for this win, because not only would it be finally a grand finals win for these players, but revenge against Gamin Gladiators, who basically dragged them down the entirety of the last year. I do wonder, though, how confident they are going up into it. After you beat the lower bracket team to go into grand finals, that does have to feel good, because it was Falcons. Falcons won everything this year, and they stomped them. It wasn't even close. That was one of the cleanest 2-0s that I've seen in this tournament, and that's got to be something that gives you confidence in a way nothing else does, because a lot of people had Falcons as the winner of this tournament.
Yeah, and I believe you were also here this morning when the stat was shared, Effie, that of all the grand finals this year, only once has the upper bracket team won. The rest was all lower bracket teams.
You can't underestimate that lower bracket momentum.
That's crazy, isn't it?
I was not aware of that. That is a pretty
From
spicy
this year,
stat.
right?
This year, 2024 specifically.
Probably a different story from last year's.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Yeah, but like it's something else as well that they can try to take away. They beat Gaming Gladiators last year at Riyadh. It's like one of the few times where they did actually, smack them, and like they played very well against them. So that's like something you can take. Of course, you can take the series you played the other day where you lost to them to try and adapt. And the momentum from this morning, I feel like out of all the grand finals they've played, I believe in Liquid today to not get 3-0 stomped, but show us like a very competitive series, and who knows, maybe even win.
I'd agree.
I am slightly concerned, though, because Falcons did not look like themselves today. They were playing too slow. They were playing disjointed from each other, and it felt like the fundamentals of theirs were shaken up actually after their series versus Crest yesterday. And I don't want to take away anything from Liquid's victory because it was clean. They did everything almost perfectly, but the way that they lost to Gamin yesterday, they lost to Chen and Enchantress. They lost because they picked Razor in a game where Razor wasn't good because their carry pool was limited. Those problems, they still have to exist, Kazu.
Yeah, I think it's like also, I mean, it's especially that, but there's also other stuff. Like I really dislike like some of the Ember pick. Like when you pick a hero to close a phase, you ban 2 heroes, and then still something like the Dazzle comes out, which makes it unplayable. It means that your pick on 18 was illegal, because no matter what great heroes you ban, you're still getting stomped. There's an issue there.
There is an issue there. Fear, I want to focus a little bit more on the matchups, and maybe if you want to take it to the draft, that's fine as well, but I want to talk about the support difference. We talk a lot about the tempo of play, and oftentimes that comes down to support play.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely can, and I think for right now we're talking a lot about Liquid and what they need to improve. It's because they're going against the Goliath right now. It's Gamin Gladiators. They haven't had a single game in the playoffs that went to 40 minutes, so speed is going to be the name of the game. Celery, he's been playing a lot of fast-tempoed heroes, especially the Chen, and he's the only one that's even pulled out the Undying this tournament. So, like, this is definitely a team that's going to play fast. They're going to move very quickly. They're going to build all the auras. I really like Tofu as well. He's been adapting super well, but he's one of those position 4 players that will just, like, buy the auras, buy the Glimmer Cape as needed, when a lot of supports might be a bit more greedy. So they're all in on the idea of we're going to play fast and we're going to end the game around that 20-30 minute mark.
Now, how do Boxy and Insania compare to that, with that in mind?
They can. They definitely can. It's just, are they willing to? Because they have, like, in the upper bracket, showed a completely different play style from what we used to see them win with. And they went more for that team fight heavy, play a bit slower, pick the troll, and rely on that a bit more. But we've seen them play very quick. We've seen Boxy pull out, like, Dawnbreakers and stuff. Sure, they didn't win that game, but hopefully they didn't lose faith from that. Be like, oh, this is a little out of the box. Let's go back to the standard meta. Just keep picking the auras, keep playing fast, because I think that's what you have to do to beat Gamin Gladiators.
Yeah, a lot of flexibility coming from the supports as well.
No, for sure. And also, like, if you're looking at Liquid, they need to be matching the speed, right? I don't want to see no disruptors today with some kinetic wall. I want to see Insania's ET, like, also stuff like Hoodwink, Weaver. Weaver is a hero that owns in these games. You need to match Gamin's tempo. Like, they know it, we know it, so they have to also show it with their type of hero picks and how they play the game.
And the support picks are going to be instrumental because Gamin Gladiators, you see them over and over again, and you talk about their auras and their 5-man, but you have to break it down to how they get to that point, right? And a huge chunk of why they can get to that point is the support rotations to the mid lane, the rune security for Quinn, the early rotations to get that mid tower early, and then aggressively enter the jungle or the triangle through that tower. So Liquid have to have supports that are able to match that pace instantly. It can't be something that loses in lane and then has to TP mid, refill bottle, walks back to the lane, mid gets ganked. We can't see any of that today.
No, and with that in mind, if you want the supports to be freed up, that means our offlaners, they have to have something that is fine, even if, therefore leaves a little bit Fear.
Yeah, I mean, I think the offlaners to really look out for. I think we have a lot from Gamin Gladiators. Of course, the Underlord and Brewmaster is going to be the big one going into this one. I think we struggled a little bit on 33 earlier on the tournament. The Brewmaster, he had like a 25% win rate. They scrapped it for a little while, and then once they lost the game in with it, they pulled it out just earlier today, tried a different build, and now it's back. So I think he figured out what the problem was there. So we're going to see a lot of overlap in some of the heroes that 33 likes to play. Brew is going to be a big one for sure, and outside of that, it's going to be the Doom. This is a hero that Liquid have not lost with, and this is kind of the hero that builds auras, but also counters a lot of the healing strategy on top of it. So these are going to be big offlaners to look for.
Yeah, like for me, Dota right now is all about like the small things. So, obviously the draft, but also your gameplay. How fast do you get to your timings? How do your lanes go? How can you rotate around the map? So every little pick and like every play in all these lanes, it matters so much that these two teams, they need to adapt and constantly like improve. Like even Gamin Gladiators, they probably looked at what Liquid did just now. Falcons gave them the Monkey King. That's very likely something Gamin will not do. But all the small things, they will matter more than ever in this series.
Yeah, and with that in mind, I mean, in terms of diversity, I would say actually the role that's been least diverse for both the squads has been the carry role for Mickey and the Retro.
Yeah, it feels like Derecho in particular loves his CK, where he'll pick it in almost every game. If the Weaver's in it, he'll pick it too. But this kind of works even though the carry pool is limited, because the carries that he puts himself on are these really early game high tempo carries that can rotate through the gate early, get that top tower, but also sit on lane and do nothing so that the supports can move around. Because you talked about the offlaner needing to be self-sustaining so the supports can be freed. The same thing applies to carry sheaves. Whereas with Mickey, he's playing the more ranged carry archetype where we're seeing a lot of trolls, we're seeing a lot of TAs, a lot of razors, but we haven't actually seen him pivot to that melee self-sustaining type of carry the way Dyrachyo has.
Yeah, the way that you kind of want to, if you want Insania to go through a portal and make something happen there.
Well, unless you have like really good lanes, which of course it's something they can do. I feel like they're a little bit similar with like Dyrachyo and Mickey in terms of they want to like play fast. They play off of their lane. Maybe they can go through the gate and like help their team. But it is true, like what Mira was saying, that you're not going to see Mickey on like a Naga Siren. But I also don't think you're going to see Dyrachyo on like some T8000 Naga Siren like 1v5 a game. It's very much play for your team, play for the tempo, and when it comes together, you're going to win. And when something falls flat, it just doesn't look that great.
It just does not. And I think a lot of pressure is going to also be on the coaches of both teams, because there's a lot of data and a lot of what if and buts that can come into play with a series like that, especially when it comes to a best of 5. And I would love to hear some words from Blitz, who Purge was talking to earlier today.
Hey, I'm here with Blitz of Team Liquid. They won their series earlier today, which got them to this point, but I want to talk about how your journey was for the previous year, basically. Last year you guys had an amazing year, you got a lot of second places. What's it feel like now to be back in the finals?
Honestly, I feel a little bit indifferent, because I feel as though I know what it's like to get second place. I don't know what it's like to win. It's been quite some time since we've had a big win. For me, I think like the last LAN that I was a part of that we won was like ESL when I was a part of DC. So it's been quite some time, and I think second or third, like who cares at this point? You know, it's the same thing.
So you talked a little bit about how you guys have different play styles in Gamin Gladiators. Does that affect your confidence? And does all of that like collide with all of the stress of going into this tournament?
No, I mean, the thing is, I know people will say like we have no chance and stuff like that in past history, but that's on everybody else to think. Like, I believe in my team to be able to do it. You know, everyone's like, it's so obnoxious seeing them in the finals again, the same exact one. Well, then somebody else should have beat us. What can you do? It's not like I'm just gonna tell my team, let's lose to give somebody else a chance at this biscuit. No, we'll do it 100 times. And maybe on the 100th one, we'll beat Quinn and Gladiators. I don't care how many times. We'll keep coming for them.
Are you gonna do the tweet, nobody beats Liquid 99 times in a row?
Absolutely. If we win, I don't want to jinx it, obviously, but I'm really popping off because I feel like my team really deserves it. But, I mean, this team is extremely good. If it was easy to beat them, somebody would have done it before in this tournament, but obviously it's a lot more complicated than that.
All right, well, good luck in your match, and I hope you guys do well.
Cheers, thank you.
A lot more complicated than that, indeed, and especially yesterday. I wonder, actually, Fear, you've probably been in situations like this where you get knocked down in the upper bracket, you got to go through the lower bracket to go further, you get to the grand finals, but you already played the team that you played. How much the impact that it has, even if it was a beatdown like that?
That's actually my exact TI5 run. We played PDC, we got 2-0'd really badly in the upper bracket. We went down and played LGD. It was like 2-0, I don't remember, 2-1, 2-0, doesn't matter. But we went into it the next game. It's really about the talk you have after you lost in the upper bracket. That's going to be everything. Because like either you die up there and you're just like a corpse floating down to that lower bracket, or you're reinvigorated and you're motivated, you win down there, then you go into that grand finals and you have that fire and you figured out your mistakes.
Which side do you think Team Liquid's on? Because it seems like they're invigorated.
He's got energy.
He does.
He's alive.
It's on fire?
No, it has to be fire. When you get owned the way they did in an upper bracket final, you better have a good talk, because people will be emotional, be like, guys, what the hell is this? We can't do this again. This is what needs to be changed. So I have a lot of faith in them, like coming in today, knowing what needs to be changed, and they're showing it with the gameplay too.
Easy enough. Maybe not a very fast grand finals then, Effie.
I would hope not. I want to see something incredibly competitive. But if Liquid... So it's hard to fix everything with one talk overnight, especially when there are multiple issues that were presented the day before. And I do believe there were multiple issues that were presented. Like, are they going to look at it and say, we lost to Enchantress and Chen, we lost to the Dazzle versus Ember, we lost to the CK. What do we fix here? Because there isn't enough time to do that. But if they can identify what they thought was the primary factor for their loss and work only on that, I believe in them.
I think a lot of people around the world are thinking this could be the one. There's a lot of fans for both teams. I think also for Gamin Gladiators, we can't sell them short. They are the ultimate raid boss here in Re-Up Masters, and they have been looking solid. This year, they haven't gotten a first place title yet at a LAN. So we don't know how strong they'll be. They're hungry for this just as much as Liquid is. So let's get this final started as we're heading over to BSJ first.
Aiden, my man, this is not your first rodeo. We've seen you here before. What's going to be different about today against Gamin Gladiators?
This time we're going to smash them.
What makes you say that, my man? Are you feeling confident?
Yeah, of course. Did you see our last series?
I did, but I also saw your series yesterday.
I don't remember the series. I don't know what you're talking about.
Short-term memory? Well, let's see what happens in the finals, or... excuse me. I'm as nervous as they are right now, apparently, but I'm actually way more nervous than you, and we're going to go ahead and let you walk out and show that you're not nervous.
Thank you.
Hello, turn this way. I'm here with Gamin Gladiators, and Quinn, first off, I have a gift for you.
Yeah, woo! Thank you, sir.
Okay, and I got a question for you. What are you going to do when the crowd starts chanting, "Let's go Liquid," during your grand finals?
Win.
Okay, pretty based. Well, I'm going to let you do that, and you can enjoy the walkout here. Let's get into the grand finals.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for grand finals. 4 days of play-ins, 5 days of groups, and 6 days of playoffs have culminated in this moment. We brought 20 teams here, and now we're left to just 2.
Two powerhouse remain. Gamin Gladiators crushing their opponents with speed throughout the whole upper bracket. But now, they've been waiting all day to see who's worthy enough to face them in this best of 5. And they are ready to claim their first LAN title of the year.
Last year, that would have seemed preposterous. They were dominating the scene, making every other team look like chumps. Specifically, one opponent in particular, Team Liquid.
Team Liquid has been having their run in the upper bracket, knocking down Real Masters 2023 reigning champions, winning 2-1 against Tundra Esports, but then they fell short against Gamin Gladiators. But now they have a chance to take revenge and claim this trophy.
A lesser team may have fallen faster, but Liquid dusted themselves off quickly as they dominated Falcons 2-0 just hours ago. And now we're ready to see if they have what it takes again, a best of 5.
That's right, and we are ready to welcome the teams on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to welcome the first grand finalist of Real Masters 2024. It is Team Liquid. The Liquid Mastermind that